What's up, JDI? Good to see you again. Oh, I gotta get my Ethernet going. There we go. What's up, guys on YouTube? What's up, Forrest? Forrest Southwick. The positive being is great for your channel. Shows much love. Indeed, indeed. What's up, guys on TikTok? How was my day? It was pretty busy today, actually. Just shredding some plastic earlier today. And then I was building these, starting construction of these waveguides the last half of the day. Unfortunately, no matter how quick I do it, the waveguides always take a day to do. I'm doing 2 at once right now. A lot of work. You know, I work very efficiently. I don't really take breaks or anything, but no matter how I try, they always take so long to make. And that's all right. It's par for the course. What do you expect creating a plastic to fuel reactor in your backyard, right? Obviously, it's going to take time. Obviously, it's going to take effort. It's par for the course. Do you wear any protective cover, suit, or mask? I really only wear my protective stuff when I'm welding or if the machine has a leak. But when the machine is running and everything is running properly, there are no leaks or anything. What's up, Positive Being on TikTok? The future is now, indeed. Back to the future is now. Oh, great. Instagram is completely lagging on me for some reason. Goodness gracious, what is going on there? It's not letting me go live on Instagram. That is interesting. And I appreciate you, Positive Being, as always. Thank you, Applejack. The force will be with me. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet. Got these Ethernets going, but it's still not quite working, is it? What's up, Dove? We should be good now. There's a little slow spot in my internet there for some reason. Here we go. All right. Facebook. So, here's the thing, right? You probably wonder, what do I do when it rains? Because all this stuff I have is outside. All of my wires and electronics are outside. And, you know, if I'm being honest, what do I do when it rains? I don't do shit, to be honest. Well, I just cover up the electronics with a tarp, and that's about it. The machine itself, I mean, it's painted, there's stainless steel. The rain doesn't really affect the machine at all. So, it's fine during the rain. It always has been. In fact, all my reactors have been kept outside. Thank you for the badge, Punk Ozzy, on Instagram. I appreciate you, man. I remember you've bought badges before, too. I appreciate the love, man, always. Energy. Can't wait to see the later generations of the machine. Energy is within the polymer. Polymer within styrofoam mixed with gasoline or any combustible fluid burns hot and crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much napalm, right? So, yeah, I mean, the only issue about when it rains is the fact that, you know, I have so much to cover because I don't want rain getting up there either, up in the feed valve, you see, where the hopper is. So that's about it. You said, how much funding does it take to build 10 of them? Well, it depends, like, 10 of this size, because this size right here is about 20, 25K, so 10 of these would be 200, 250K, right? But, depends on the size. This is not an industrial size machine. In fact, we're still getting to that point to build the first industrial size machine. This is the last machine built before we build it industrial. Have corporations like Homeland Security ever hit you up? Fortunately not. I hope Homeland Security isn't on my 6. Alright, Facebook is not letting me go live here. And that's the whole idea, you know. I think it's cool to have these on the market. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think it would be possible to sell a plastic into fuel reactor on a residential scale, like to homeowners? I don't think that's possible, but it could be some type of way. It just doesn't sound legal to me, at least in the United States, or probably most countries, right? My neighbors, no, the neighbors are fine. My neighbors think I'm selling dope. Because I always just gave that some thought. People say that all the time. What's up, Zai myself? People say that all the time, you know. Can I buy this? You know, can we have this at home? I just don't think it's possible on a legal level, right? You said it's not possible now, but could be. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I just think about, like, you're making your own at-home untaxable fuel. Definitely breaks the HOA. Definitely breaks a lot of safety and fire regulations. It's like, there's just no way. Because once you do have the fuel, then it's like, where do you put it? Where do you store it? There's all these other questions. There's a ton of questions that come with it. Alright, yeah, Facebook is not working on... It's not favoring us here on Facebook. That's alright. So yeah, there's all those questions when it comes to, you know, getting this to where you can have it at your house. Of course, I have it at my house, illegally. I'm not supposed to have this here. Don't tell Uncle Sam I have a plastic into fuel reactor in my backyard. A continuously operating microwave pyrolysis reactor. He might call Diddy, and I might have to touch Diddy, you know? Just for the sake of the matter, right? Hey, thank you, John. I appreciate you, man. What's the plan today? Another test run? No, not another test run. We have done the test runs with 3 Magnetrons, and they have all... Well, there's no such thing as a failed test run. You always learn something. But they've all been unsuccessful in producing fuel that we actually want. We're gonna have to upgrade. We're gonna have to install more waveguides, okay? That's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm building these waveguides so we can install them and have 5 microwaves in this thing. 5 magnetrons, okay? And hopefully at that point, it will finally be enough heat to give us actual fuels, okay? Because we've been breaking down the plastic, but not getting enough heat in the reactor itself to create fuels. which has been unfortunate, but it's okay because it's all about, you know, learning, getting to that point, and once we're there, I mean, look, here's the thing, right? Once we get to that Goldilocks zone, the perfect amount of magnetrons to create enough heat, it's only up from there. Think about it. Because if from that point forward, we're going to make fuels no matter what. And as we add more and more magnetrons, we're only going to make more fuel. But I've never built a machine this big before. So I never, I never knew how much power needs to go in. You said, are you going to look at the eclipse with or without glasses? Without. So, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I reckon 5. I'll have all 5 done by tomorrow. I did about half of them today. It's a lot of work to do them. Kevin, thank you for the $15 on Cash App. I appreciate you. So, I mean, I'm thinking about it, right? And 5 of these magnetrons, well, that's going to be more power than any of my machines have ever consumed. Right? It's going to be more power than any machine. You said, my recommendation so far is 1, more magnetrons, 2, more spread out magnetrons, and then insulation. Insulation is definitely the last thing, because it's the least necessary. Insulation is more for efficiency, because it's going to get hot either way as long as magnetrons are in that area, but we're definitely spreading them out for sure. We're putting 2 more on. They're going to be spread out in the middle and on the end, because all the magnetrons we've put in up to this point has been in the beginning. In fact, with this machine, we probably only need a minimum of like 2 magnetrons per section of the machine. The machine has 3 sections, so that's a minimum 6, right? I said that, right? I've been saying that. I was like, I always feel like the minimum that this machine needs to run is probably 6, right? So we'll see if 5 is enough, and I think that 5 will be just almost enough. We probably need 2 in the middle, right? So we'll have 3 in the beginning, 1 in the middle, 1 at the end, but we probably would need 3 in the beginning, 2 in the middle, and 1 at the end. Because the end needs the least amount. But we still need the end to heat up, though. Because if the end of this reactor is cool, like it's been cool, then the vapors are still going to just condense inside the machine. So honestly, we might need 2 everywhere. 6. We'll see. I hope not. Because that means I have to build 2 more of these things just to get it to run and work like I want it to. But we'll see. You say 7? We'll see. We'll see. It's just a trial and error game, really. And you guys have to remember, every single one of these magnetrons I put on there, right? Every single one is a whole nother set of new holes that have to be sealed, gaskets, new points of failure. So it's a lot of engineering with every single one. And of course, I have to also think about, you said try 1, 3, 2. So 1 in the beginning, 3 in the middle, 2 at the end. Well, the issue is I only have 3 mounts in the beginning of the machine, right? So I need to build all of the mounts. I need to build 12 mounts total. And I'm not even halfway there right now. I'm almost halfway there. 2, 3, 2. But once we have all 12 of the mounts on here, we can do those types of things to see what works the best, right? But once we have all 12 mounts, we can also just turn on all 12 magnetrons at once. All 12 microwaves at once. And, and then at that point, we can just go down and see, like, okay, what's the minimum? What's the most efficient, right? So that's kind of what we're doing. But the thing I've been doing is I know that building 12 of these is going to take pretty much a month to do. So I want to test run in between, not only for the sake of, of course, showing you guys this machine being test run, but also for my sanity. Because I don't like building these things day in and day out, because they take a whole day to build each, right? So, that's the thing. We're kind of slowly building up to that point, and that's why we're even here right now, where we're kind of waiting on how many mounts I could put in there to know how much the machine is going to get in terms of temperature, which will then allow us to know, okay, now we can finally make fuels, because that's the real goal, right? Everybody wants to see the actual fuels being made. They don't want to just see, oh, the machine is on, or, oh, this is the machine, or, oh, we just put plastic in the machine. We want to see actual fuels come out. I do too. I don't blame you. Is it back up and running? I remember an explosion. Yeah, it was a small explosion. We're back up and running. We've been back up and running for about like a week now. I've been trying to figure out what I want now, what goes into it electrical wise. So what goes into it electrical wise is Magnetron transformer capacitor. It's the same circuitry that's in a microwave oven. All I've done is just take it out the microwave oven and put it onto my microwave reactor here. So the circuitry is pretty simple from a circuit perspective. It's nothing crazy. I have some relays hooked up. Click a key fob to turn it on and off from a distance, but it's pretty simple circuitry. I pretty much just literally just take it directly out of the microwave oven and just transfer it to this thing here. Nothing more than that, to be honest. Did you have to build its own breaker? I should put breakers on this. Right now, I just am using the breakers off of the mains. Perhaps different auger RPMs throughout the process could help with efficiency. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I mean, I always said the slower that the blades on the inside spin, the better. Because the slower the blades spin, the longer they're going to be in contact with microwaves, right? But it could be, you know, we never know. Because this is the first time I built one this big, right? You said 20 years old, right? Got a personal car, little diesel. No, my car's not diesel. My car's gasoline. I always say this to people, but like when I had my plastic diesel, right? And we've been trying to run the car for a long time. I'm like, if my car was diesel, I would have run this thing first day, right? Because everybody I was talking to is asking with the diesel car. They're like, no, I don't want you to use my diesel car, right? Because I didn't have enough gasoline at the time. I only had enough to run the weed whacker, which we had done. Now this time around with this machine, you could tell just by the size of this machine, we are going to go ahead and have a ton of fuel, right, come off of this thing. An absolute ton. Thank you for the badge, Memory. I appreciate you. So with that ton of fuel that comes off of this machine, well, do the math. I'll definitely have enough gasoline, so definitely be running my car day in, day out. Definitely won't be paying for gas anymore once this thing's up and running. So, I mean, what do you guys think? You know, going back to what I was saying before, you know, you can say your guesses now, because we're going to figure out tomorrow. How many magnetrons do you think it would take to get this thing to truly make fuels? Now, I'm not talking like pouring out fuel like it will be when it's done at full power. But I'm saying just the minimum amount that we're looking for. More than just some drops. Like actual yields of fuel, you know? I'm really thinking it's going to be between 5 and 7 minimum. What about the emissions from burning the plastic? We're not burning plastic. So you put plastic in this chamber. It's airtight, it's sealed, no oxygen, microwaves go in, and the plastic does not burn because there's no oxygen. In order for something to burn and catch on fire, there needs to be oxygen. Since there's no oxygen, it does not burn. So we're not burning plastic. You say, okay, you guys are saying 6, 7, some people are saying 10. I think 10 would at 10, it should already have been working before that, hopefully. 7. Have you had any colleges ask about the technology? Yeah, some. How do you know when the plastic is spent? And how do you know when you do the next run, will you use more plastic? So I know the plastic is spent. Well, this machine, right? Plastic is loaded in from the beginning, blades spin, and the plastic gets down to the end of the machine. By the time it gets to the end of the machine, the idea is that, okay, by that point, the plastic is completely carbon. How do I know it's spent? Well, when the plastic is completely carbon, only vapors come off of it. I mean, no more vapors come off of it, right? So we know the plastic is pretty much done in this machine when we get almost no vapors coming out on the other end to fill up our yoga balls, for example, right? Now, do I always load in more plastic when I start a new run? No, I don't, and I'll tell you why. The reason why is because since we don't have enough magnetrons on this machine, when the plastic reaches the middle of the machine, for example, it's not being broken down anymore, right? It's a 3 front, 3 middle, 1 on the end. Yeah, I think we definitely need the least amount on the end for sure. But the middle is going to be pretty heavy. The beginning and the middle. So I'm going to focus on those 2 spots, right? We're going to, you know, when we test, hopefully we'll be able to test tomorrow, right? Because it's raining Tuesday. But when we test 5, okay? And by the way, guys, that reminds me. I can only do 6 magnetrons max off of my home. After we get up to 6, to do any more than 6, I have to get a generator, which I don't have yet. So let's hope that it doesn't take more than 6, because even that's a crazy amount. Do plastics produce varying degrees of vapor? Yeah, they do. They produce the vapors are a ton of different things. Some hydrogen, some carbon monoxide. You know, it's a ton of different things in those vapors. But the vapors are flammable. He said there's this guy on YouTube that has turned plastic into candy. Have asked him for any input. I don't know if I don't know what he does to turn plastic into candy, but you know, I don't understand how you could take plastic and turn it into candy that doesn't have plastic in it, but it is all chemical things. So of course, there's no way he's making plastic candies full of microplastics. So I don't understand what that is. It's just some straight chemistry he's doing there. Obviously, reverse engineering the plastic back to just sugars somehow, I would say. Hasn't this type of machine already been created? Not at a backyard scale. No, sir. There has yet to be any microwave pyrolysis reactor, especially a continuous microwave pyrolysis reactor, done at a backyard scale. In fact, if you even go online and you look even at an industrial scale, you will find very, very few continuous industrial microwave pyrolysis reactors. Super chill. You said it was Nile Red. Yeah, didn't he turn like glubs into like grape flavor or something? I forgot what he did, but he did some type of chemistry thing. But the glubs he did were not made of plastic. They were like nitrile or something, which is a type of rubber. So it's different. It's similar, but it's different. If that's what you're talking about. About the Magnetron placement, I do think making them based around the middle would be good, not only for the movement of the auger, but also because the output pipe is in the vapor. Yeah, exactly, as I myself. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Because we have that output pipe in the middle, we want those vapors that come out the output pipe to be the hottest anywhere in the machine. Right? You see where the output pipe is. We want the vapors coming out of there to be the hottest. And the only way to do that is to put more magnetrons where that pipe is. So, like I said, we can go up to 6 before I have to get a generator, and we're putting on 5, and if 5 isn't enough, the 6th one I'm going to put on is going to be right next to that the output pipe, right? It's going to be in the middle. So we'll have 2 in the middle. 3 in the beginning, 2 in the middle, 1 at the end. I really think that would definitely do it, right? But I'm still going to build the mounts even before I get the generator. So that way we can still do different configurations. Maybe we could try 3 in the middle, 2 in the beginning, 1 at the end, 2 at the end, 3 in the beginning, 1 in the beginning. I don't know. Different configurations. That's why I want to get all 12 on here. You know, all 12 mounts. ASAP. You said, how'd you become so smart? Well, I appreciate the compliment. I wouldn't even say I'm smart. I'd just say I'm knowledgeable. I've just read a ton of research papers. And of course, it actually transitioned. So when I started this project, it was all from research papers, right? Just reading what had been done. But as I started to do it, now all of the knowledge I have comes from actual experience working on this thing. Seeing the things happen. Seeing the things form at home right here. So that's actually the best type of experience you can get, or knowledge you can get. Anecdotal. The gloves that Naoret used were made of plasticized PVC, not rubber. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I did not know that. Did you learn everything by yourself? Yes, I did learn everything by myself. In fact, I don't know of any schools in the U.S. that teach pyrolysis to this degree. Anyways, even if I wanted to go to school to learn this. But I did not go to school for chemistry either. 100% self-taught. And, you know, that's okay. Because that's the thing about anything, right? Especially with the internet, but even before the internet, let's be real. Look at inventors, right? First of all, look at school. And school doesn't really teach you to be an inventor anyway, right? Keep it real. School does not teach you to be an innovator or inventor. School teaches you how to be a worker, okay? So, even before the internet, if you look at it, many of the great inventors, they usually were not the most academic people anyway. Right? You said curiosity is the most important thing. Curiosity and perseverance. Because I'm curious to see what's going to happen when we put plastic in this reactor. But I have the perseverance to keep working at it, even when it's hurting my back, and even when it's taking all day, and even when it explodes, I just keep going. Because I have the perseverance to match my curiosity to see what happens. So those two things are very important, to have both of them at an equal strength. right? Because if you lose all your curiosity, you're not gonna think it's worth all the work it's gonna take. But if you only have curiosity, you won't have the perseverance to keep going when it gets extremely difficult. Because I always tell you guys, there is no guide for this online. I am building the first continuous microwave pyrolysis reactor at a backyard scale anywhere. Okay? I have done the literature. I have read the books, the research papers. I've looked everywhere online. I cannot find anything anywhere. You said you're almost done working on the manway? Oh, Gio, I gotta check that out. I actually am very interested in seeing how your manway is gonna turn out. So I'm gonna check that out tonight for sure, Gio. All right, Gio, I'm just gonna give you my so you can just text me some updates and stuff. Because like I said, I never go on TikTok anyway. So you know. I never am reminded to go on TikTok either because I have the notifications off. So yeah, there's no guide, there's no book. I'm learning everything. When this thing explodes, it's not like some type of thing, oh, I can go online. Why did my reactor explode? No, literally what I have to do is look and analyze it myself. Why did it explode, right? So that's the thing. You know, it's a very tedious process, back and forth. But that's par for the course, and I actually like it. I'll tell you why. Because I've been in this position with every one of my machines. Okay? Where you have things you don't know how to fix, problem solution, all this nonsense. I've been in this position with every single one. And every single one of my machines has operated. Okay? All 4 of them before this have all operated. Well, except for Mark III. Mark III blew up and completely destroyed itself. But all the other ones... right? All the other ones have worked. So despite being in that sticky position of like, I don't know what I'm going to do, it always ends up working. And it's very satisfying when you get to the point, right, where your machine is working despite all the trial and error, right? And that's exactly where we're going. Also, by the way, guys, I have not shown this on camera to anybody, but I did test today to make sure the carbon is falling out of the machine at that at the output pipe there, and it does. Okay, I've loaded plastic in, and I'm able to get the carbon out at the end. It's still plastic at this point because we're still adding the magnetrons, but that works. It's great, and that's very important for this thing to operate continuously. Where we can load plastic in the beginning, it's gonna spin down the blades, turn into carbon, fall out down there. I'm gonna modify a propane tank, right? Or it's gonna basically be the holding container for all the carbon. And then I'm also gonna make a container for all the liquids too. Once we start getting liquids, we're not even getting them yet. We don't have enough power going in, unfortunately. So we definitely got a few things to do. But you know what this reminds me, right? Because every machine has a minimum operation power. So I volunteered my old truck as a test bed for it. Hey, that's what's up. Where's your truck? Is it gasoline or diesel? So yeah, what was I saying? There's always a minimum power for every machine. And you know what? With my Mark IV machine, I tested, right? The Mark IV had 3 magnetrons on it. If I turned on 2 magnetrons, because obviously 3 magnetrons consumes more energy than 2. So you would think, okay, if you turn on 2, the machine will operate better or more efficient. Yeah, you know, here's the thing about these machines. When they don't have enough power, the efficiency gets hurt a ton. When I operated Mark IV off of just 2 magnetrons, for example, one run normally would take 5 hours or 3. One run with 2 magnetrons literally took, I think, 8-10 hours. And that was Mark IV, way smaller than this, 3 times smaller than this. We have 3 magnetrons on, we're still not getting good results, right? So think about this like the same situation. If the change from just one magnetron of difference, right? 2 versus 3 magnetrons made that much of an efficiency difference. Imagine this machine while we're still trying to get up to the amount that we need, right? So we just gotta keep adding more and more until we hit that Goldilocks zone. So I like being innovative and I like to make and engineer stuff. School is not a reason for that. Exactly, Zah myself. School does not teach you to be an innovator or to be somebody that is even curious. The school shuns you for even being curious. So at the end of the day, I've been binge watching your content all day. Absolutely incredible and amazing work. Thank you, High Tech Redneck. Hey, much love to you, man, because you're on the YouTube channel too. Guys, those of you that are very interested in this process of what I'm doing, you want to see the whole story, the whole history up to this point, you got to go on my YouTube channel, binge watch my YouTube videos, and you'll see the true hype that this is building up to. Just knowing where I came from a machine that was the size of this, right? Like I could hold it on my lap, to this thing, right? This machine is almost the size of one of my balls, you know, almost. Just for reference of how big this thing is. Your truck is an old gasser from '06. Well, hey, when we get this thing making fuel, I'll keep you in mind. School teaches you how to be a good factory worker. Exactly. And Rockefeller said that himself. He was like, I want to keep people in school to make them good workers. You know, that's why he donated so much money to universities. Make them good workers so he can have good workers to build his riches, right? So, I mean, but you got to think about it, though. We need everything. We need workers just as much as we need businessmen. We need, you know, innovators just as much as we need inventors. We need, you know, there's a duality to it all. So it's not like bad. It's not like school's bad, but you know, I will say school definitely needs to be a lot more optimized than it is now. School is very one-sided right now, right? Where it's purely focused on making workers and kind of breaking curiosity of things. That's why we live in an age where this is rare. Hey, believe it or not, guys, building something like this in your backyard back then was common. Nikola Tesla, in the Nikola Tesla days, you know, Thomas Edison day, this was common back then. People just did this, okay? Velcro, all these things came in people's garages and backyard. Why is that not so common anymore nowadays? Why don't people work on stuff at home anymore? People don't do it. Why? People don't do it anymore because we've been shunned for it, right? It's kind of been quenched out of people. We have this disbelief that since there's million-dollar, billion-dollar labs that are funded by the government and stuff, that we don't even have a chance to have a breakthrough in our garage anymore. But that's not true. That's what they want you to think. It's not true. You can have a breakthrough right there in your garage. Look, electric cars existed for like 50-something years. No. Electric cars existed I mean, they were, I think they were even a thing before gas cars were popular, okay? But electric cars did not take off until recently. So they've been around for that many decades, but it took up until now to take off, right? Pyrolysis has been around for a long, long time. It's been just something that's like, but it hasn't been mainstream. It hasn't been the thing. But what I'm telling you is, it could be today where it becomes that thing. But you have to have your mind open to working towards it. You have to have your mind open towards knowing that there's always a realm of possibility and a place to be open for innovation, for improvements on anything that exists. Even at your backyard, you can take apart a Tesla in your backyard and you can probably improve something. You don't need $1 million lab. You don't need $1 million budget. But we just have to remember that. And so that's why I always tell people, right? Okay, I'm building this machine. This machine is one thing. But the true power behind this machine is in that message. The message that we're going back to this. We're bringing this back. Okay, we're making it cool again. To go ahead and work on stuff in your backyard. I mean, think about it. If you want to solve everyday problems, you gotta have an everyday perspective, right? Because when you get so much money, you don't even need, you probably don't even deal with such problems. But, you know, I started building this machine because I was like, how can an individual turn their plastic waste or recycle their plastic waste? There's not a way, right? Think about it. There's like ways that you can do a lot of things at home that we normally outsource, right? Like you could chop your own wood at home, right? You could grow your own plants at home. But there hasn't been a way to recycle plastic at home. And I believe that the power is in the people. And that if we are purely reliant upon governing bodies to do things for us, we will always be in a position of dependence. That's what I truly believe. We will always be in that position, and we will never reach our true potential. So that's why I'm like, you know, once again, going back to it, my perspective on building this machine was that basic perspective. A perspective that you probably wouldn't have if you had already $1 million budget or whatever. I was trying to solve an issue of my own as a consumer at home. And it got us to this point. So what time is it over there? 6:33. You said school actually made me less interested in stuff. Exactly, because school is a funnel, right? It kind of funnels you into things. School does not, you know, it funnels you into the curriculum. So school, there's no way the school is going to encourage innovation. Because think about it, you get in trouble if you ask too many questions in school. If you ever go in school and you hold your hand up, I used to get in trouble for this too. You hold your hand up and you ask the teacher why to everything they say, pretty much everything they're teaching. You will get in trouble every time. You're just trying to figure out why. You're curious. Okay? In any subject, okay? How did I get to this point with this machine? By asking why over and over and over again. What's up, Eduardo? It's 1 a.m. over there. Where are you, man? Where are you, Olhe? But it's so cool to see that people are still pushing with passion, common good sense. Exactly. That's what we're about. Because look, there's people, think about it. I'm doing this in my backyard. I'm posting it about it online. I've got publicity. But imagine how many people aren't online. Okay? Imagine how many people don't have publicity. Innovation is still alive. Okay? And that's the most important part. I'm building a plastic to fuel reactor. Somebody else will build something even better than I've ever built. And that's what we want. We want that. We want for all of humanity, for the world to still innovate. Before my engineering craze, I used to put my creativity into art and music and such. It was only because of the internet that I started getting into engineering. And that's ironic, isn't it, Zai, myself, right? Because you're saying you got into the internet, or you got into engineering by the internet, right? But by nature, or the standard approach is, you want to do engineering, something big like engineering, you got to go to college, right? The only thing I've been formally educated in is welding. And that's different than school, because trade school actually teaches you how to do something, not just how to remember something for a test. The vocational high school here are great for people like us. I went to yeah, exactly. We were talking about the same thing, trade school or vocational high schools. Yep, because I did welding in high school. You get the apprenticeship, you know, you get the secure job, and then you have a real skill. Because I worked as a welder, but also being a welder, I was able to build this. If I did not know how to weld, I would not know how to build this. Or I could know how, but I would not be able to build this. You said energy is created or destroyed. It's cyclical. Exactly. Energy is in an infinite cycle. The same energy it's like the water. They say the same amount of water that was in the beginning of Earth is still here now. Same with energy. And it takes so much energy to make plastic just for us to throw it away. So what I say is, let us figure out a way to recoup some of that from plastic. Okay? Now, this machine, the process of pyrolysis, just happens to turn plastic into fuel. But I don't give a... If this process turned plastic into pieces of wood, I would still be happy. Because I even got into this process with the idea of, I want to recycle plastics here at home in an environmentally friendly way. So it just happens to be that we create fuels from the plastic or extract the fuels from the plastic in a usable form, okay? Right? But this is not a power plant. We make the fuels, but the goal was always to recycle the plastic at home, environmentally friendly way. And it just happens to be that we make gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, natural gas. It just happens that all those things are in the plastic. And it happens that plastic is so energy dense that I would be stupid not to at least try to extract all that energy in it out. I'd be stupid not to. It's so energy dense, right? And this process just happens to do it all. And in a way, it kind of literally does turn plastic into wood in a certain degree if you look at it, because wood is when a tree sucks CO2 out of the air and then it makes it into that solid form, and then the last part that comes from the plastic is carbon in solid form. So it's not exactly wood, but it's a component of wood. So technically, if you stretch it a little bit, we turn plastic into everything. What about microplastics? Microplastics turn to everything else in this machine. They get destroyed. So this is the safest place to put microplastics because we're completely destroying all the plastics. And by the way, guys, I opened up this machine, and just like I said, there's already a permanent layer of carbon and oil. It's no longer, the blades are no longer metal to metal. The blades are pretty much self-lubricated. It's protected from rust. The carbon and oil layer is just on the base, though. It's not at the top yet. So the top is starting to rust at some points. But as we run the machine more and more, it's going to get all over the place. So this is what happened in my last machine, Mark IV. Same thing. As you run it, it gets coated in oil and carbon, protects it from rust, protects it from metal contact. So it's good. You know, talk about efficiency. The machine self-lubricates itself, right? Almost sounds like Diddy, right? So that's what we did before. That's what we do now. Are you still going to get a greenhouse? It depends. If I'm running this machine outside, okay? Because there's two possibilities. I can't run this machine at full power here. I'm not allowed to. It's too powerful, okay? This is too residential, okay? I have to move this machine either to some type of warehouse facility, if I can acquire one, or some type of country land back freaking, you know, there's plenty of country land in Georgia. All right? If I have it on country land, gotta have a greenhouse. Keep it safe from water. If I have it in a warehouse facility, we're fine. The only issue is a warehouse facility is inside. We have to have it very well ventilated because this thing always will have at some point some type of leak just because we're still testing things out. We don't want these vapors just filling up the air. That could be bad. Carcinogenics. Have you ever tested your fuel on something long term? No. But all those things are coming with this machine. All of those things. Long-term tests, tests on jet fuels, cars, everything is coming from this machine. You said, how efficient is your machine, sir? This machine is still in the process of being built. So unfortunately, I don't have any numbers on inputs nor outputs on this machine. But when it's done, that's what we're all about. We're definitely going to get all those statistics. And we're going to check how efficient it is. The hypothesis is that we can extract triple to quadruple the amount of energy that we're putting in. That's the goal. But we'll see when we get there. Right now, we don't even have enough power going in to run the thing. Is radiation emitting from the machine? No. If radiation was emitting from the machine, my Wi-Fi would not work at all. Are your neighbors aware of the risk you pose to them? Well, here's the thing. I've had explosions. I've had fires. The risk is to myself, to be real with you. I've been shocked. Now, if the neighbors have an issue, they can talk to me. We can talk. Have a little tea party. In fact, if the neighbors have an issue, I will invite them to my mansion party in Miami. I have a very large mansion in Miami with lots of rooms. And I like to diddle with people in my mansions. And I'll invite them to my mansion if they do have a problem. Just, you know, we can talk over things in the back rooms, in the after parties. Right? You know? Get things done. Negotiate a little bit, you know? Blow some backs of doubt. You know what I'm saying? And encourage them to understand what I'm really doing here. And then they'll be behind it. I promise you. After the neighbors come to my party, they'll be okay. Alright? They'll be happy every time they see this machine. Every day they'll be coming out. Hey! Working on that machine I see. And I'll be like, yeah. I'm working on that machine. just like I worked on... okay, anyways. Just keep up the great work. Thank you, Paul. I sure will. Every day. Day in, day out. Work. Hey, the only thing that stops me from working on this machine is rain. That's it. Nothing else stops me. So if you are somebody and you're like, I don't want him working on this machine. I don't want him doing this. Call the government so they can control the weather and make it rain over here, okay? Then that's the only way to stop me. You said, as a man that's seen people blown up, that shit is scary as hell. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm scared. But here's the good thing, though. This is not operating under high pressures. So we're never going to get to a point where a weld can burst. We're never going to get to a point where the thing will shoot up in the air. It's very low pressure. So the worst explosions will hurt my ears. And hurt my lungs if I breathe in that mess. Which I won't because I wear a mask. I'm more scared of the electrocution risk, to be honest. I'm more scared of explosion risk for my own sanity. I'll be traumatized if it explodes to a crazy degree. You said, if you don't wear safety glasses too. Oh, I wear safety glasses. I do. I wear a face shield too. Obviously, right now, I mean, here's the thing. When this machine explodes, it's not a shrapnel explosion ever. It's a depressurization. It's not under high enough pressures. If this thing blew up shrapnel-wise, I would need a lot more than safety gloves. I need to be 100 foot away. It's not under a lot of pressure. Right? So, when I have the machine on, the reason why I have PPE when it's on is because when it's operating properly, there's not going to be any leaks. I don't even have to wear a mask. There's nothing going on. You have to wear it when you're shredding the plastic. Oh, I agree. I agree. That plastic shredder, that thing, they get so damn small, I need to wear my respirator and my safety glasses while I shred that plastic. Or I got a bunch of microplastics in my body. I probably already do. So you don't use a mask when you fill a car? Yeah, so when this machine is operating how it's supposed to be, there's literally more vapors from you pumping your gas, your car at the gas pump than this thing emits. It emits nothing. Are you nervous about other companies coming for you? You have this stuff written down? Someone could consider your work if something were to happen? I'm writing it down. I'm writing a book. I got it documented on the internet, which is forever. I'm on every platform. That's amazing. I'm not worried about other companies, though. Because the other companies, they might have the money. They don't have the public appeal. If they had the public appeal, we'd already know about them. It wouldn't just be other companies. You'd be saying, blank company, blank company. They don't have the people behind them. That's the most important thing. The world is political. What is politics? People. So, I got the people behind me. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Because look, they could have a machine better than mine. People would still purchase my machine because they remember these days here. Right? And also on top of that, when you go into business, it's nice to go into business with somebody you actually like. If you can. So, you know, there's a few other reasons beyond just money. Harp. Yeah, Fox. You better call Harp if you want to slow me down. It's just raining on Tuesday, the day after the eclipse. It must be all on purpose. The eclipse has been chosen to make it rain so I could be slowed down, right? That's how important this is. I'm just playing. But, honestly, I mean, what do you guys think? Because I keep it real with you. While that eclipse is happening, I probably will be live. Keep it real. I probably will be right here running this machine while the eclipse is happening. I'll take a look at it for a second. Get right back to it. Did you create the machine? Yes. Handmade. It rains like every day. Where are you? Hey, they call me Yuki. Good to see you as well. What's up, 123? Have you considered a material that does not rust and is stronger? Yeah, stainless steel. Let me tell you what the issue is. It's expensive. I made this out of propane tanks. I got one from the scrapyard. You can't just... Look, you can, but good luck ever finding just a good stainless steel cylinder anywhere. Because anybody that would scrap stainless steel was going to sell it. Because that stuff is expensive. So yeah. I have thought about a better material. And we'll do that when we have a budget. It looks like a closed-loop extraction machine. I guess so. Zach, thank you for the badge, man. You're always getting the badges. Much love to you, Zach. I forgot what question I asked you guys. Why don't you start homesteading? I don't have land yet. When I get land, I'm definitely homesteading. I'm all about it. Norway. Oh, yeah, you did say that. Do you have a car or truck? What do you drive? I drive a van. A van is basically a closed bed truck without 4x4. A decent mileage closed bed truck. I used to run a hydrocarbon extraction with something like that. Oh, Tyler. Well, that's what's up, man. So you already know, like, all this stuff is familiar to you. I'm thinking about taking plumbing classes and electrical engineering as well. Well, that's what's up. They call me Yuki. Like, the great thing about trades is this right here. I mean, it's great because you will always have a job. That's amazing. Like, I can always go back to work as a welder anytime I want to. There's always demand. Okay? And I'll be my own boss, too. That's what I did before this. Do it. If I want to, I could do it tomorrow. But I think the true amazing part is that those skills you get are things that you can apply to everything else in your life. Once again, welding gave me the ability to build this here. Imagine if I had to hire a welder to weld all these things in here, guys. I wouldn't be able to afford it. I would not be able to afford it. But because I learned how to weld, I was able to put this together. And if you do electrical engineering, I wish I did electrical engineering. So I'm not so scared of these electronics. You say you have way too many certifications. I'm jealous. I wish I did some electrical engineering, man. Look, I apply everything, a little bit of everything. I do some things that you will find from welding. I do some things you will find from electrical. I do some things that you will find from HVAC. I do some things that you will find from... Yeah, I even done a little bit of carpentry messing with these machines. I've done it all. Plumbing? Oh, definitely plumbing. Tons of plumbing. Look at the pipes. Look at the freaking pipes. It's everything coming together right here. That's why when I say, when we built this thing industrial, I can't build it myself anymore. It's too big. Yeah, definitely. This is definitely a definition of a jack of all trades right here. Because this is every single trade. A little bit of every single... It's mainly welding, but it's every other one too. The electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC. I literally use an air conditioner compressor as my vacuum pump. So I had to learn how to hook up an air conditioner compressor to the capacitor. I forgot what they call it in the HVAC. They're called like the double compressors or something like that. Had to learn how to flare copper pipes. HVAC, like they do with the refrigerator lines. It sucks that most people... Oh, you're talking to somebody else. It's not myself. I always... My problem is electricity does not work the way I thought it did. Yeah, I tell you. That's the thing about electricity with me too. I will say, out of all the things, I'm the most scared of the electricity. You can't see it. And it's instant. Reverse bubble flares. Yup. Now, all I did was a standard flare. I didn't do double flares, the bubble flares. I didn't do any of that. Just standard. But the point is, I had to learn how to do it, and I did it self-taught. Because I needed it for this machine. Next run is planned for tomorrow. But we'll see. I got a lot to do. We just have right now these 4, well, it's 2. It's 2 of them, but it's 4 different tubes. Do you think that's an early age for starting a strong passion in engineering? What age? Let's see. You said you're 16. I thought you were way older, myself. I thought you were way older. Yeah, man, look. I started my passion for welding when I was 15, 16. Thank you for the cap, Ray, on TikTok. I started getting into welding 15, 16. I think that's the amazing ripe age because you're right before your 20s. You're also not an adult yet, so you won't be burnt. When I built my first machine, I wasn't paying bills and stuff. I was still in school, okay? That's an amazing time to start something, and you can transition into adulthood with it, okay? So that's an amazing age, myself. Do you have any other projects besides building the reactor? Well, here's the thing, Yuki. This reactor takes all my time. Okay, I barely even have a life. Actually, I don't have a life. Well, I do have a life, but I don't have a social life, you could say, outside of this, okay? I don't go anywhere except for shopping and stuff. I'm mainly shopping on Amazon for parts for this thing. So I definitely don't have any other projects yet. I got things in mind. I got a few projects in the cabeza. But here's the thing, guys. When I'm building these machines, I'm locked in. I'm in a state. I'm in a status of absolute focus and determination until I get it done. Okay? Unbreakable determination and focus. Day after day after day after day. Every single machine has been that way. Every single machine will be that way. So I'm not focused on anything else till this is done. Until I can walk outside, turn it on, walk away, come back, grab me a gallon of gasoline, put it in my truck. That's simple. Okay, then at that point then I will finally open my mind to the next things. But you know what the next things are? The next machine, industrial. So in short, I'm not gonna really truly have a break from this machine. Yo, what's up? What's up, Talik? Not having a social life is your social life. Essentially, keep it real. I talk to this reactor all day. My social life is music, okay? Because I'm literally, when I'm building this reactor, look, when I'm building this reactor, I have all the time in the world to listen to albums after albums after albums, okay? Every genre of music, every artist, I can just do it. Because there's nothing else, I can't talk to anybody while I'm building it. I can't watch a video while I'm building it. All I can do is just hook up my speaker and just blast music. Hours and hours and hours of music. Discover new genres and things. That's my social life. That's about all I have time for. Because it doesn't take time to listen to music. I'm still working on this thing. Are you going to buy a generator? Yeah, I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to buy 2 generators. The generators are going to be $1,500 a piece, too. I'm going to feel that. Mr. Brown, you're young. You should enjoy your life as a youngster as well. You know, there's a lot of core memories. I understand your machine, but you're only 20. I mean, that's a good point. It's all about balance, Yuki. It's all about balance. But I'll be real with you, though. And this is where we start to, like, drift, right? This is where the difference between people starts to happen. There are some people, I would say most people, right? And this is not any type of knock towards most people, but it's just like the reality of the world. Most people, when they do something that's like hard work, it's not fun, right? They don't want to do it. And most people, I don't want to exercise because it hurts, or it's annoying, it's tedious. This is the difference between just a regular person's mind and an inventor's mind. This is fun to me. If I was doing anything else in the world, all I would think about is when I could get back to doing this. It's like an obsession, okay? Yeah, it's not rewarding to do something else. I don't want to do something else. It's true, I should have a better balance. It's true, these things are important. I should probably enjoy my youth, but to be honest, there's nothing else I would do in my youth that would make me feel good except for this. I've taken breaks, okay? And all I could think about is doing this. I take breaks, I watch shows. The show shows something that looks half like a reactor, and all I think about is me welding and putting together the reactor. It's a weird type of obsession that you can't break, and that's kind of the difference between like an inventor's mind. You just get obsessed with your own thing, or that is fun to you, that is fulfilling to you, but you hate it at the same time because you're working so much on it and it hurts you and you're scared of it. It's like I don't know, it's like a mental illness or something. You know, it's like the devil and the angel. I hate it. I hate working on this. I just want it to be done, but I love it so much. If I didn't have it, I don't know what else I'd be doing. You know, it's like one of the other thing. But either way, I want to see this thing done so much. I want to see it built out and working so much that honestly, anything else I do in between, unless it's something for my health, just seems like a distraction taking me further from getting this done. Keep it real. So that's honestly why I barely do much else. I mean, I do have some other things I do in my day. Like, I do some exercise and stuff. You know, spend some time in nature. You know, meditate a little bit. Of course, edit videos and stuff. But outside of those few things, live streaming, here we are. Day in, day out. You know, if I were to live stream every hour of me constructing this machine, how many hours would that be? We would probably already be at 200 hours. Because I've been building this machine for 2 months now almost, and I've been working almost every single day, 8 to 10 hours. So weekend doesn't matter. Weekday doesn't matter. Holiday doesn't matter. I'm at it every time. So dope merch. Hey, I appreciate you. You can get some at naturejab.com/merch. Plastic plus microwave equals fuel. So, I mean, think about it, right? If you are obsessively working on something, putting so much energy and force into it, it is impossible to fail. So what are you going to do with the carbon? I'm going to be using it as biochar in my garden. But it has so many uses. Okay? But you ask, what am I doing with it? That's what I'm going to do. And I can sell it to farmers too. But there's no way, because think about it, this reactor just last week exploded in my face. Still, every day out here, at it. Boom, boom, boom. Not giving up, still going. I can't fail. How can I possibly fail if no matter what happens with the machine or how I feel, I just always just keep going at it? It's impossible. It has to work. There's no way I can possibly fail if I don't. You only fail when you quit. And I just don't, I can't quit. Because you know what? If I try to quit, all I can think about is, I could have done it better. I could have done more and more. Are you concerned of metal shavings from the fan blades? No. They're not fan blades, they're auger blades. The machine already has a permanent layer of carbon and oil and wax and grease on the inside of it. And plastic lubricates it too. You said you fail when you admit you failed. I mean, and that's the thing. Because no matter what happens to me, I never even see it as a failure. It's a setback. A postpone to success. But, you know, even when I had the machine catch on fire, you know, I still didn't even see that as a failure. You know, it was a big learning lesson. In the moment, it could be a little bit shocking. You're like, dang, where do I even start from now? You got to restart the building blocks. But now I'm on the best machine ever. But once again, same thing. I'm still at it. Never giving up. Never have, never will. And that's the thing. Because I'm not just this way with the machine. I'm this way with everything in life. Okay? That's why I tell you guys, the trillionaire's mindset, or to be a trillionaire is not... To be a trillionaire is not a material thing. It's not a matter of money in your bank account. It is a mental mindset, a spirit set, a way of living. Because I am the same way that I am with this reactor, with every other thing in my life that I want to work. I am obsessed with the outcome of seeing it work. I am obsessed with not giving up. I never give up, always work. And it's just a simple equation of the whole life and universe. There's no way that you can possibly fail if you just keep going at it. It simply is just how it works. No matter what you do in any realm, in any endeavor that you're doing, if you just keep working at it, eventually it just has to bust open, right? Period, right? You know, that's the same way they got Diddy. Because they just kept trying to get the cases on him for years now. We all knew what was up. But they couldn't get it done right until we finally got it, okay? I definitely agree, because now I'm in North Carolina, about to get my phone number, as well as open a bank account, so I understand what you're talking about. But to take into consideration as well that most of the billionaires and people that have founded society usually say they wish they could have been a little bit more attentive to life. I agree. That's the thing. I'm so aware of it too. I agree, and I'm completely aware. And sometimes I do regret how much time I spend on this thing. But let me tell you what the issue is. The issue is I can't spend time on anything else. I already told you what happens. I spend time on anything else, other than like health things and family and stuff. If I'm sitting here trying to take a day break and I'm watching a show, like I was taking a break one time and I was watching Breaking Bad, and I saw I saw the pipes of Breaking Bad, and all I could think about was, oh, I can't wait to build this machine. Oh, what am I gonna do? I'm building the machine in my head, even when I'm taking a break. Okay, that's what happens. I can't escape it. So it doesn't really matter for me. At the end of the day, I have to be physically separated from the machine. But even then, even if I'm physically separated, I'm in a different state on vacation, I'm still thinking about the machine in every moment. As I wake up, as I sleep, I'm still building it in my head. So that's why I tell you guys, I'm building Mark 4.5. I really have Mark 5 done in my head right now. Really going on to Mark 6 in my head right now. Mark 5 is done. I'm on Mark 7. Because every day is just... the cog wheels are going. So that's really what it is. The innovator's mind, the inventor's mind is like there's an obsession with what you do. You can't escape it. And you're aware. You're aware of how bad it is. I'm aware of how bad it is that I'm up in here working on this every day like this. I'm aware of how bad it is that I can't not think of it no matter what I do. But I can't help it. I can't help it even if I wanted to, like Michael Jackson said. Anyways, guys, I'm going to head off for the day. Thank you all for stopping by the live stream. Hopefully, we'll be test running it tomorrow if I get these things mounted. And hopefully, we'll get some actual fuels, all right? So I'll see you guys then.